A woman only respects you when you detach completely. Most men think women respect them because of love, effort, or consistency. They think if they keep proving their loyalty, sacrifice more, and give her everything she wants, she will respect them forever. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The moment a woman feels you are emotionally dependent on her, her respect for you starts to die. This may sound harsh, but it's the reality men avoid. Women don't respect attachment. They respect detachment. Not coldness, not hatred, not cruelty. Detachment. That invisible ability to say, I can walk away, and I will still be fine. That is the essence of masculine strength in a relationship. Now here's the controversial part. The more available you are, the more invisible you become to her.
Why?
Because women are wired to test boundaries, to test strength, to see if you crumble when she pulls away. And when you show her that you can't breathe without her, she instantly sees you as replaceable. But the moment you detach completely, her entire energy shifts. Suddenly, the calls increase. The texts come faster. And the same woman who is acting distant starts chasing what she thought she had already conquered. Detachment creates mystery. Mystery creates respect. And respect creates desire. Most men do the opposite. They overinvest. They overexplain. They overpromise. And in doing so, they hand over their power. But the men who know how to step back, who know how to detach, unlock a different reaction. They force her to respect them, because she realizes she cannot control them. This is what we're going to break down in today's video. If you've ever wondered why being too nice kills attraction, or why the moment you give too much she pulls away, this video is going to wake you up. If that's something you need to hear, hit subscribe and stay with me all the way to the end. Because the final truth in this video is the one most men spend their entire lives avoiding, and it might be the most important thing you hear today. Let's get into it. 1. Walking away wins. The most powerful move a man can make in any relationship is the ability to walk away. Not threatening, not pretending, not playing games, but truly being ready to leave if his respect is no longer valued. That single decision is what separates men women control from men women respect. Here's what most men never understand. The person who is least afraid to walk away holds the most power. When a woman knows you cannot leave, she feels free to push boundaries, test limits, and even disrespect you, because she believes you'll stay no matter what. But when she knows you can walk away, suddenly everything changes. She thinks twice before crossing the line. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wrote, "The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health, respect, and character for the approval of others." A man who cannot walk away has made exactly that sacrifice. He has traded his dignity for the illusion of keeping her, and she feels that trade every single day. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself enough to protect your dignity. It means you refuse to stay where you are disrespected, undervalued, or treated like a backup option. That decision alone commands respect because it shows strength of character. Most men are terrified of this. They beg, they chase, they compromise everything just to avoid losing her. But here's the wake-up call. The more afraid you are of losing her, the faster you actually lose her. Women don't stay loyal to men who fear them leaving. They stay loyal to men who prove they can leave at any moment and still thrive. The irony, the moment you truly become willing to walk away is the moment she clings tighter. Because deep down, women admire men who do not compromise their value for anyone, not even for them. Walking away is not about punishment. It's about self-respect. It is the ultimate proof of detachment. And in a world where most men are prisoners of their emotions, the man who can walk away without fear is the one she will always respect. Now, walking away is the ultimate move. But long before it ever comes to that, there is a quieter, daily mistake most men make that slowly bleeds their value without them even realizing it. 2. Attention is weakness. Men are taught from childhood that giving women endless attention is the way to win their hearts. Compliments every hour, constant texting, always being available. Society tells men this is romantic. But here's the truth most men never realize. The more attention you give a woman, the less she values it. Attention is like money. If you print too much of it, the currency loses value. When your attention is scarce, it feels special. When it's unlimited, it feels cheap. And once a woman sees that you're ready to pour all your energy into her without her earning it, she subconsciously marks you as less valuable. The psychologist B.F. Skinner demonstrated through his research on behavioral reinforcement. The behavior of organisms is controlled by its consequences. Unlimited, unconditional attention produces no consequence worth responding to. But controlled, selective attention, that creates pursuit, that creates desire. This doesn't mean you should ignore her completely or treat her badly. It means your attention must be meaningful, not desperate. It must come from a place of choice, not need. When a man gives too much attention, he communicates one thing: he has nothing better going on in his life. And the truth is, women respect men who have a mission bigger than them. Men whose entire world doesn't revolve around pleasing them. When your attention is controlled, she notices what you do give, because it actually feels rare. And that rarity creates respect and desire. Imagine two men texting a woman. The first replies instantly, sends multiple messages, and keeps asking what she's doing. The second replies when he's free, keeps the conversation balanced, and doesn't chase for replies. Who will she think about more? The second man.
Why?
Because his attention is not guaranteed. It has value. She will find herself checking her phone more, wondering what he is doing, because he is not flooding her with constant validation. Giving away your attention too easily is like handing out free gold. It loses all worth. But when you make a woman earn your attention, she not only values it more, she also respects you more. Controlling your attention protects your value. But there is something even more revealing that she is watching, something happening beneath every text, every response, every moment of silence, and most men have no idea they are being evaluated for it constantly. 3. She tests what she fears. Every man must understand this. A woman tests the man she respects, not because she hates him, not because she wants to destroy him, but because deep down she fears losing control over him. Her tests are a way to check if you are truly the man you appear to be, or just another pretender. When a woman pushes your buttons, pulls away suddenly, gives you attitude, or even creates small drama, she's not always trying to ruin the relationship. She is testing. Testing your patience, your confidence, your leadership, and most importantly, your detachment.
Why?
Because she knows if she can shake you, then you are not as strong as she thought. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A man who passes her tests is a man who has internalized exactly this. He cannot be moved by what is outside his control. And that composure in her eyes is the rarest thing she has ever seen. Her tests are not about the surface issue. They are about seeing if you bend under pressure. Most men fail here. They panic when she pulls away. They argue endlessly when she gets emotional. They think passing the test means convincing her or making her happy in that moment. But real strength is shown when you don't collapse under her storm. You don't chase. You don't crumble. You stand firm. Understand this. The more she respects you, the more she will test you. If she never tests you, it usually means she doesn't care anymore. The presence of tests is not the problem. It's how you respond that matters. Stop fearing her tests. Stop seeing them as attacks. See them as opportunities to prove, to her and to yourself, that you are unshakable. Because when she realizes she cannot break you, she will respect you in ways that love alone could never create. At the end of the day, her tests are not about weakness. They are about fear. And what she fears most is losing respect for the man she chose. Passing her tests requires staying grounded. But far too many men are destroying that groundedness every single day through one specific behavior they mistake entirely for love. 4. Too available is unattractive. One of the fastest ways men kill attraction is by being too available. Always answering the phone within seconds. Always showing up whenever she calls. Always saying yes, even when it doesn't suit you. This doesn't make you a good partner. It makes you predictable and forgettable. Here's the hard truth. What is always available is rarely valued. Men don't realize that by making themselves constantly accessible, they are slowly removing all mystery, all tension, and all excitement from the relationship. And without those things, respect fades. The problem is too many men confuse being available with being loving. They think, if I am always there for her, she'll never leave me. But in reality, it's the opposite. The more you cancel your priorities for her, the more she learns that your time doesn't matter. The more you chase her schedule, the more she believes her life is more important than yours. The psychologist Abraham Maslow wrote, "In any given moment we have two options, to step forward into growth or to step back into safety." The man who is always available has chosen safety every single time. He has made himself predictable, comfortable, and ultimately invisible. Women don't admire a man who throws away his own purpose just to be by her side 24 hours a day. She may enjoy the attention for a while, but deep down she cannot respect a man who has nothing bigger than her in his life. What truly draws her in is a man who knows his value, who protects his time, and who makes her earn access to him. It's not about ignoring her. It's about balancing her with your mission, your goals, and your self-respect. When you show her that your life doesn't pause just because she calls, you send a message. I am a man with direction. You can join my journey, but I will not stop moving for you. That is what makes you magnetic. Stop being too available. Stop handing over your time like it's worthless. Learn to set boundaries. Learn to say no. Because the moment she realizes you live for yourself, not just for her, is the moment her respect for you skyrockets. Protecting your time creates distance. And within that distance lives one of the most underestimated tools of masculine power, something most men are too uncomfortable to use because they mistake it for weakness. 5. Silence speaks louder. Most men don't understand the power of silence. They think every problem requires endless talking, every argument requires defending themselves, and every test from a woman requires proving something. But the truth is, silence often says more than words ever could. When you stay silent at the right time, you show strength, you show control, you show that you're not shaken by emotions. And this is exactly what earns a woman's respect. Because in her world, most men overreact, overexplain, and overcompensate. The man who doesn't rush to speak stands out. The philosopher Lao Tzu wrote, "Silence is a source of great strength." In every argument, every test, every moment of emotional chaos she creates, your silence is not emptiness. It is power. It is the loudest statement you can make without opening your mouth. Silence during conflict is especially powerful. When she raises her voice, when she throws accusations, or when she tries to spark an argument, most men immediately get defensive. They talk too much, they try to fix it, or they beg for peace. But when you remain calm and choose silence instead, you flip the power dynamic. She is left facing her own emotions while you stand unshaken. That's not weakness. That's dominance without effort. Silence also creates mystery. The less you say, the more she wonders. When you don't reveal everything, when you don't give her constant explanations, she starts to think about you more. Women respect men who don't need to share every detail or justify themselves at every step. But here's the key. Silence only works when it's backed by composure. If you stay quiet but look angry, bitter, or insecure, it loses its power entirely. Real silence is calm, controlled, and confident. It's the silence that says, I don't need to explain myself. I know who I am. Not every challenge requires words. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to say nothing at all. That quiet strength not only earns respect, it forces her to see you differently. Because silence, when used correctly, speaks louder than any speech you could ever give. Silence is the expression of detachment in the moment. But detachment itself, as a complete internal state, is what changes everything at the deepest level. 6. Detachment creates power. One of the strongest positions a man can ever put himself in with a woman is detachment. Not coldness, not rudeness, not ignoring her to play games, but the ability to emotionally step back and not let her control your state of mind. That's where your real power lies. Think about it. The moment she realizes your happiness depends entirely on her, you've lost leverage. You've handed over control of your emotions, your confidence, and your focus. But when you are detached, she feels something very different. You are a man she cannot fully control. And that is exactly what makes her respect you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Detachment is that mastery made visible. It is the daily proof that your emotional state belongs to you and to no one else. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care in balance. You love her, but you don't need her to validate who you are. You enjoy her, but you don't depend on her presence to feel alive. This is what separates men who get walked over from men who set the tone in their relationships. Every woman will test a man in subtle ways, by pulling away, by creating drama, by acting less interested. Most men panic at these moments and overreact, which instantly lowers their value. But a detached man doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and doesn't lose his cool. He stays grounded, which forces her to realize he is not like every other man. The irony is that detachment actually brings women closer. When you're not glued to her every move, she becomes more curious about you. When you don't crumble under her tests, she begins to admire you. And when you show her that your world does not collapse without her, she starts to respect you in ways that love alone can never secure. Detachment is not about playing games. It's about self-control. It's about living in such a way that she knows you can walk away if necessary and still be fine. That presence alone creates respect that no words could ever demand. Detachment is the state. But there is a final truth that ties everything together. One that explains why all of this matters and why, without understanding it, nothing else in this video will ever fully make sense. 7. Love dies. Respect remains. One of the biggest mistakes men make is believing that a woman's love is permanent. They think if she loves them today, she will love them tomorrow and forever. But love is an emotion, and emotions change. What a woman feels for you today can be completely different in 6 months. She may not wake up one morning and love anymore. And that is normal. Here's the truth most men never hear. Love can fade, but respect lasts. Respect is what keeps her looking at you as a man she cannot play with. Respect is what makes her think twice before walking away. And respect is what makes her still see value in you even when the feelings are not at their peak. This is why many women stay with men they don't even feel crazy about, because they respect them. The philosopher Aristotle observed, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Respect is not built in one grand moment. It is built through the quiet, daily habit of carrying yourself with strength, setting boundaries, and refusing to bend to emotions that are not your own. On the other hand, plenty of men are deeply loved for a short time but quickly disrespected because they become weak, needy, and too available. And once a woman loses respect for you, it is nearly impossible to get it back. Respect is built through how you carry yourself, how you set boundaries, and how willing you are to walk away if necessary. It is not built by begging, explaining, or proving yourself. It is built when she realizes you don't bend to her emotions. Think of a man who loses his job. One man panics, complains, and starts depending completely on his girlfriend for emotional rescue. Another man stays calm, reassures her that he will bounce back, and immediately starts working on new opportunities. Guess who she respects more? Not the one crying for comfort, but the one who shows composure under pressure. She may still love both men, but the second one earns lasting respect. And that is what keeps attraction alive. At the end of the day, she may not always feel butterflies for you. But if she respects you, she will always think twice before losing you. Here's the final truth most men will never accept. A woman does not actually love you the way you love her. She respects you or she doesn't. That's the raw reality. Her love is conditional. Her attraction is emotional. But her respect is the only thing that keeps her loyal. And once she loses respect, it's over. No matter how much love is left. This is why detachment is so powerful. Because detachment forces her to see that you are not desperate for her approval. You are not addicted to her validation. You are not trapped in her emotions. And that alone makes you the kind of man she cannot easily replace. Here's the controversial part. Women don't fall in love with the man who gives them everything. They fall in love with the man they cannot fully control. And if you've been wondering why she pulled away even though you gave her your whole heart, the answer is simple. You made yourself too predictable, too available, too dependent. You forgot that respect is greater than love.
So, ask yourself right now.
Does she respect you? Or does she just tolerate you? If she respects you, she'll chase you. She'll listen. She'll fight to keep you. If she only tolerates you, she'll drain you until there's nothing left. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment when detachment actually made her respect you more? Or maybe the opposite, when being too available made her lose interest fast? Drop your experiences in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one. I'll be replying. And I'll connect with you personally because your stories matter. And if this video gave you something real to think about, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe if you haven't already because we go deep on exactly these kinds of truths every single week. Remember this. Love fades, but respect endures. If you master respect, you master the relationship. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It genuinely means everything to me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.